Who's got two thumbs and got Zoom bombed yesterday? This guy. My name is Chris Orsini, and I'm the Director of Technology for Keller Williams in East Boca Raton. And I just got Zoom bombed in one of my classes yesterday. And I am taking some preventative measures to avoid this happening again, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Now, if you're not familiar with what Zoom bombing is, it's essentially a bunch of unwanted guests joining your meeting and wreaking havoc. What happened to me yesterday was about 5 to 7 people joined my meeting all at the same time. It started with some music playing in the background, then someone started drawing explicit images on my screen and then it I then someone started yelling expletives and racial slurs, and I thought I had cleared everyone out, and then all of a sudden someone started presenting pornographic images to the class, at which point I immediately ended the meeting for everyone, which ended my class, unfortunately. So I do not want anyone to have to experience this again. And for anyone who was on that class or did see that live stream, I want to personally apologize to you. I do not want anyone to have to experience that, especially in my class. So here are the things that I'm doing to prevent this from happening again. So I am in Zoom.us. I'm in a meeting, and this is a recurring meeting. So what I'm going to do is click Edit This Meeting, and I'm choosing All. So as a recurring meeting, I want this to just be able to change these options in one shot for all of them. So I'm going to choose All. And the first thing I'm going to do is require a meeting password. So if you wanted to get into a Zoom room, you could essentially type in the URL zoom.us/something/ the meeting ID, wherever that is. I'm not seeing that on here, but you can type in the meeting ID in the URL and get into it. And what some Zoom bombers are doing is just typing in random numbers, hoping to find a Zoom meeting. Now, if you require a password, even if they do find your meeting with random numbers, they cannot enter that meeting without this password. So that's one level of protection there. Next, I always turn on mute participants upon entry. That's especially if you have someone coming in late and they have background noise, that avoids some disruption. So I'll just turn that on. And then also I enable waiting room. Now, what waiting room does is it puts people into a lobby as soon as they try to enter your meeting, and you have to admit them in. Now, this is a bit more of a burden on the host, unfortunately. You do have to keep an eye on that. It will notify you, but this does allow you to prevent anyone from joining who is not welcome. So I'm going to click Save, and many times it'll ask you if you want to notify registrants. If you do have registrants on that already, I would say yes to notify them so that they know that they now need a password, and of any other changes you've made to this meeting. Next, we're going to go into settings and change some universal settings. So if you hit Command F or Control F on PC, you can search for words on a page, and it's especially helpful here because, I mean, look at all these settings options we have. This is quite a list. So I'm going to hit Command F, and I have my search bar at the top, and I'm going to search the word screen. So the first thing we're going to do is adjust the screen sharing options. Now, I have to leave screen sharing on as a tech trainer. I'm always sharing my screen, so I have that on, but we make sure that host only is turned on, is checked. That way no participants can share their screen and share any unwanted images. Now, if you do absolutely have to have that turned on, I recommend having host only turned on, so nobody for sharing when someone else is sharing, so that no one can commandeer that presentation. But I recommend leaving host only on and changing that option within Zoom if you need to, and I'll show you how in a second. The next thing I want to do is go down 2 more options and go to Annotation, and I want to turn Annotation off. Now what this is it allows participants to use Annotation to add information to a shared screen. So let's turn that off so that we cannot have anyone share, draw on our presentation. Now keep in mind with this option you don't need to click any save buttons, but with screen sharing, if you did change this, you do need to click save there. So next we're going to jump into a Zoom meeting here, and I've already started one, but yeah, you can just click new meeting to adjust these things. What I'm going to do, if you mouse over share screen, you'll see we've got this arrow here, and we can change our share settings right from within the meeting. So we can click on that arrow and click advanced sharing options, and this is where you can allow your participants to share their screen if you so desire. Again, I'm just going to leave that off. And next I'm going to share my screen, and it doesn't matter what you share at this point, and we're going to click on more and make sure that we have disabled attendee annotation. Now here it's enabled because the option is to disable. So I'm going to click that, and you'll notice now it'll say to enable it, and now it's disabled, so no participant will be able to annotate over my screen. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions or need any further assistance, feel free to shoot me an email at orsinicchris@kw.com or comment on this video. Also, if you'd like to see more, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on KW Connect or give me a like on Facebook at Chris Orsini, KW Tech Trainer. Thank you very much.